My name is Ashwini. I am going to tell about Jammu and Kashmir affairs. The Constitution of Jammu and Kashmir was a legal document which established the framework for the state government of Jammu and Kashmir. The Constitution was adopted on 17 November 1956 and came into effect on 26 January 1957. It was without any purpose on 5th August 2019 by an order signed by the President of India and seized by the applicable date on that date. The Constitution of India granted special status to Jammu and Kashmir among Indian states, and it was the only state in India to have a separate constitution. Article 370 acknowledges the special status of Jammu and Kashmir in terms of autonomy and its ability to formulate laws for the state's permanent residents. In the year 1954, presidential orders, among other things, the fundamental rights of the Indian Constitution were made applicable to Jammu and Kashmir with expectations. Thank you.
Very good, Ma.
Yeah, very good. You have given it in detail. In fact, Jammu and Kashmir, the regulation was very strict, and nobody was allowed to purchase any land or keep an industry there. And it was a landmark decision taken by Modi government. This will appear for your prelims as well as your mains, and even in the interview also they may ask about J&K. So you should be thorough with the J&K in detail. All the students, though it is not your subject for discussion today, you make a notes of your own. Think about Jammu and Kashmir. Who was the first Raja? Raja Karan Singh was there. He was the royal dignitary at that time, and then he was made almost like a governor, and he ruled it for several times. And there were a lot of refugees from Kashmir. So many people came to Delhi, and they were asked for. They were Hindus, and there was a lot of confusion between Hindus and Muslims, and so many regimes have come. And Mukti Muhammad Saeed was there, and then till recently Farooq Abdullah and his sons were there, and it was almost have become a formidable place to go there, and even the tourism has very much affected. That you should make a point to was most important in Jammu and Kashmir, and the most of the way to march to Zoom, people conglomerate there and they go there. And another important thing is Amarnath Yatra. That is also more important in J&K. Most of the Hindus who prefer to go to Amarnath, they will register their names and then they go there for one Mr. Rajendra Prasad was Director General of Police there. I met him. I was in charge of Kashmir Channel for 5 years. It is known as Kashir Channel. The language known to them or spoken by them is Kashhir. M is not there. So in the Kashir Channel, we used to have anti-propaganda of Pakistan. Pakistan people, they used to broadcast several items against our national interests. So we did several programs on Kashir channel to counter propaganda, the Pakistan anti-Semitic activities. So Kashmir is a very vital area, and during those periods, the king and other people like Karan Singh and others, they supported the union government. And Sheikh Abdullah was almost like a refugee in Hyderabad for some time, and finally everything have been settled. And it was a bold decision taken by Modi government to abolish the 370 Act. Now you should know that Jammu and Kashmir is a union territory. Similarly, Ladakh also is a union territory. And the important in Jammu, there is a good Hindu temple. In Kashmir, there is a Shankaracharya temple. And all these things you have to make it in a point note. So I congratulate Ashwini for presenting it in a good way.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next.
Very good, Yashwini. Very nice. Yeah. Next, sir, Sneha. Hello.
Namaskar everyone. Today I'm going to be telling about
Sneha.
housing and urban affairs. Housing and urban affairs is a profession includes urban planning. Urban planning is a professional way of developing urban areas by making physical plans and developing development regulations. Urban planning is a combination of social, economic, environmental, and constructive efforts to make an urban dwelling a good, healthy place to live, work, and move around. Need of urban planning. It was done to assess negative physical and, and social effects to make the place livable and work around. The implementation of urban planning. Urban, urban local bodies or local government implement urban development strategies. Urban local bodies are elected by the people. These authorities are functionary institutions under the government.
Anything more? Or
Hello. Connection got cut, I think.
Sneha,
The connection got cut, sir.
is there a problem in?
Yeah, with the connection. We'll wait for a minute. She will join.
Yeah.
Sneha, please continue.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, should I continue or restart from the beginning?
No. You can just continue with where you ended.
Okay, ma'am. The major policies impacting urban development.
Unmute yourself.
Ma'am, now can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. The major policies impacting the urban development in India are 24th Amendment to the Constitution. This amendment requires state governments to modify the municipal bylaws to empower urban local bodies to function as institutions of self-government.
Unmute yourself.
Unmute.
Ma'am, now can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
However, most urban local bodies suffer from poor institutional framework and talent shortage. Moreover, the degree to which decision-making powers have been devolved in practice varies widely from state to state. Major yojana that was made by Pradhan Mantri was Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. This yojana was launched in 2015. The area focus was to construct more than 2 crore houses. The target was to make a house for women and economically weaker section SC, ST, and SC. Thank you.
Sneha, unmute yourself.
Ma'am, I'm done with all of this. Should I repeat it?
Yeah, you have done it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so the major thing you told was about the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana.
Yes,
Right?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And then I explained about what is urban planning.
Yeah, urban planning also.
The Urban Development Ministry has a huge sector in budget allocation. Normally, in any government, there are two segments. One is rural development and another is urban development. Urban development gets the major, all the municipalities, all the corporations, they come under the urban development. Recently in 2017, Government of India has clubbed and made it into the housing and urban development, because they are populated and there is a problem of housing also. So government wants to continue the housing of all the areas where people are congregated. So the budget outlay of 2021, you please note down, it was 50,040 crores. The budget allocation for urban development and housing during 2021, 1 year, it was 50,040 crores, 50,040 crores. The main concession given in 2021 was tax exemption. If you are building a house and you take a loan, normally they call it as EMI. The EMI paid, the money paid by you during that year is exempted from the tax, and some concession is given. And they have created one ministry, one separate department called RERA Act, that is Real Estate Rehabilitation Act. That means if somebody dupes you and he doesn't build you the house, he has taken your money, your agreement was for giving your house before 2021 December, but he has not started the work. So most of the people were duping the consumers. So they made a very big act which is punishable under the Act of CPC also. So this urban and housing development, these are the main thrust of it. And Mr. Venkaiah Naidu was the minister for our 2014 to 17 when the government came. He was there as Minister for Urban Development. Earlier in 2000, when Mr. Vajpayee was there, Venkaiah Naidu was Rural Development. Both are very important ministries. Urban culture has to be developed. And recently they have introduced a scheme of developing all these urban areas also. They have identified some areas and find out what are the schemes in that, and you note down and you jot down when the scheme has started and what are the areas. Tirupati, Visakhapatnam in Andhra, they have been selected as areas to be developed. And growing population in metro cities, that is also more important. And metro rail also, that is also a project in urban development. In Hyderabad, it has come up very well. The first introduction was in Delhi. It took about 7 to 8 years. Normally, the implementation of metro rail in Calcutta, it has also gone into some court cases. So this urban development has become a very big issue in any ministry. So let us expect this year also, they will be giving a huge amount. And you go through the same manner about rural development also. Both are very important ministries. So you make a special effort to at least take about 10 points of each department, particularly urban and rural development. Sneha, congratulations, you have done very well.
Very, very well done, Sneha. 6 missions which you have to remember in this urban development is Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation, AMRUT it is called. PMAY, that is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, which Sneha has mentioned. Yeah, housing for all is the motto of it. The Smart Cities Mission, in that, like sir was telling about, Visakhapatnam and Tirupati also. Swachh Bharat Mission is also part of this. Heritage City Development is, it's called as Hriday. That is also, they have identified the heritage centers and trying to restore the heritage and culture of those places. Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana is also there, like how to give urban livelihood. Those who are daily wage workers and all that, how to give that is also part of this particular urban and housing affairs. Yeah. Next, Kirtana. Kirtana will speak about home affairs.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Kirtana, and today I am going to tell about Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs.
Nice.
It is an Ministry of Housing. It is an agency of the Government of India responsible for urban poverty, housing, and employment programs. It is involved in the national policy decision and coordinates with Indian central ministers and state government and central sponsor programs. And the chief holders and the ministers of Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs are Hardeep Singh Puri and Narendra Singh Tomar. What is urban affairs? It is known as regional planning of town, city, or rural. It is a technically or politically process that is focused on development and design of land use and build environment and bring and build environmental issues, including air, water, and infrastructure of that area. It is for the public welfare, and the main fund of this urban affairs and urban planning is the sustainable development. Sustainable development is nothing but the development of the development of the area without damaging the environment, and we have without damaging the environment, and we have to use the resources limitedly for the future generations. And the schemes which comes under this housing and urban affairs are smart cities mission, urban transport, hriday. Hriday is national heritage city development and augmentation yojana. It was launched on 21st Jan 2015. The aim of this is to bring the urban planning and economic growth of the heritage centers or the cities, like example Tanjavur, Madurai, to bring the economic development high with this Hriday mission. And Amrit Atal Mission for Urban Transformation, launched by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi on June 2015, establishment of a good transformation of water supply and sewage system for the rural areas, and many and to bring up and support the networks and many projects of independent independent schemes. Thank you.
Nice of you, Kirtana. You mentioned about the new projects also, urban housing and heritage also. Indian heritage is a very long story. So we have to keep our all heritage points in a good humor. And they are mostly the tourist attraction places. And most of the revenue and revenue generation. So that is why they have named two important schemes which you have mentioned. One is Amruta and another is Hurday. And most of the cities they have identified, they compete with one another. Recently, Visakhapatnam, Shrujana is the director there now. She is known as the managing director of Visakhapatnam Urban Development Authority. She was earlier municipal commissioner also there. She has done wonderfully well. She has made Swachh Bharat a very big enlightening program, and people were also involved in it. There will be definitely a question on Swachh Bharat. Swachh Bharat comes under this Urban Development Ministry. So you make your own notes about Swachh Bharat, how it has been implemented, and how people are cooperating with it. In fact, one girl, she said, I will not marry unless there is a toilet in my own house. So she made it a point during the betrothal that this boy who is going to marry her shall have at least one toilet in the house. It is to create an atmosphere and awareness among the people that Swachh Bharat is most important thing. Prime Minister Modi, he has gone to the root level of the problem. Even in the schools also, they doesn't have toilets. That is why they have started toilets in all the elementary schools also. Because girls, if they want to go for a bathroom, there is no facility for them in the schools. Similarly, even the people living there in villages, in urban areas, they have to squat in yogis and jopadas. They have come up very well. So they are trying to slowly make an event that the transport is available to them, housing is given to them, and metro rail facilities are there, and every citizen should get what he is expected to get it. So under this urban and development scheme, I think she has to talk on home,
Home
but perhaps there
affairs.
was some mistake.
Yeah, miscommunication.
Instead of home, she has taken house affairs. Doesn't matter.
No.
Two people have submitted, no problem. Then we will go to the next.
Yeah.